First, everything between Lilian and Kelvin felt magical. She was so wrapped up in the sweetness of their relationship that she didn't notice the little changes that was happening between them. Kelvin was charming, caring, and always knew the right words to say. He made her feel so special, like she was the only girl in his world. But slowly, without realizing it, Lilian began doing things she had never done for any guy before. She started with simple favors. Kelvin would casually mention that he was low on cash and needed to fix something minor, and Lilian would offer to help without thinking twice. "Babe, don't worry, I will take care of it," she would say, eager to make Kelvin happy. Then it moved to bigger things. If Kelvin needed new clothes, she would go ahead and buy them. Anytime his phone spoiled, she would replace it immediately. She started paying for their dates, sending him money whenever he had a sudden problem, and even helping him sort out some of his personal expenses. Chika, her friend, knew and noticed it, and she said to Lilian, "Lilian, this one you have turned to Kelvin's personal ATM. Hope he is not taking advantage of you," she asked one afternoon, raising her brow and her concern. Lilian laughed it off. "Abeg, it is not like that. I am just helping him because I wanted to." Chika shook her head. "Anyway, just be careful, my dear. Love can make someone blind sometimes." Lilian brushed her warning aside. To her, Kelvin was not like other guys. He was principled, respectful, and different. Besides, she had the money, so it didn't feel like a big deal. But as time went on, Kelvin grew comfortable. He stopped offering to pay for anything and always had one excuse or the other whenever money was involved. Lilian was the one constantly giving while he kept receiving. Yet, even then, she didn't see the red flags clearly. All she knew was that she loved him, and in her heart, she believed she was doing it for love. When their graduation came in the university, it came faster than Lilian imagined. The campus was alive with excitement. Music filled the air. Students danced around, signing white shirts and taking endless pictures to capture the memory. It was a bittersweet moment, knowing a chapter of their lives was ending. By this time, Lilian and Kelvin had become inseparable. He was always by her side, and she wanted to make sure everything went smoothly for him as well. When he mentioned that he was short of funds for his school clearance, Lilian didn't even hesitate. She handled all the bills without a second thought, happy to support the man she loved. After graduation, Kelvin brought up the idea of them moving into a better place together. To Lilian, it sounded romantic, like the next big step for them. She started looking for a simple, affordable apartment that fits her budget. But Kelvin immediately turned it down. "Babe, we can't stay here. This place doesn't match our status," he said, his expression serious. He convinced her to go for a luxurious apartment in a high-end area. Even though it was far more expensive than she planned, she agreed because she wanted him to be happy. Lilian ended up covering every rent, furniture, and electronics and decoration expenditures. Kelvin didn't contribute a single dime, but she brushed it off, believing it was all part of love and building a future together. Not long after settling in, Kelvin began complaining about transportation. He said it was embarrassing for him to move around without a car, especially now that they live in such a classy neighborhood. After days of talks, sweet promises, and emotional persuasion, Lilian finally gave in and bought him a car. To her, it felt like the perfect beginning, a fresh start filled with love, dreams, and shared goals. She had no idea she was slowly giving everything, piece by piece. After moving in with Kelvin, their relationship grew stronger than ever. Lilian felt it was time to introduce him to her family. Kelvin had become such a huge part of her life, and she wanted them to see the man who made her genuinely happy. One Sunday afternoon, she invited him over for lunch. Her mom was ecstatic, greeting him with all her usual warm smile, but her dad and elder brother, John, were far less welcoming. Her dad watched silently, while John's expression remained stiff from the first handshake. John, her brother, always watched over her like a protective shield. He loved her sister so much. Kelvin, calm and confident, in a crisp shirt and jeans, answered her dad's questions about his background and career politely. Yet, Lilian sensed her dad's doubt growing. John leaned forward and he asked, "So, Kelvin, what are your plans for the future? How do you intend to take care of my sister?" Kelvin smiled slightly. "I have plans. Things will fall into place with time." John's eyes narrowed, unconvinced. Her dad stayed silent, but the disapproval on his face was clear. After Kelvin left, her dad called Lilian into his study room. "Lilian," he said seriously, "I don't trust that boy." "Dad, you barely know him," she protested. "I have lived long enough to recognize certain things. Be careful, my daughter." John appeared moments later. "I don't approve of it either," he said. "He seems too smooth, like he is hiding something. Don't let love blind you, my sister." Their words stung, but deep inside, Lilian believed in Kelvin. She trusted her heart, even if her family didn't. Not yet. Despite her dad and brother's strong disapproval of Kelvin, nothing changed between them. Lilian loved him deeply and believed that with time, they would eventually see the good side of him the way she did. Their warnings didn't matter. She had made her choice and was determined to stand by him. A few months after they moved into the new apartment, something unexpected happened. Lilian discovered she was pregnant. At first, she was shocked, but beneath the surprise was a spark of happiness. She imagined them raising a child together, building a beautiful family despite everything people had said. For a moment, she believed it was the beginning of something special. But when she shared the news with Kelvin, his reactions shattered that little joy and dream in her heart. "Lilian, this is not the right time," he said seriously. "I don't even have a stable job yet. How do you expect us to raise a child?" She tried to explain to him, hoping he would see things from her own perspective. But he stood his ground. He made it clear that keeping the baby would bring problems and ruin his future plans. Not wanting to lose him, Lilian agreed to end the pregnancy. She convinced herself it was the best decision for both of them, even though it hurt her deeply. She thought that would be the last time But she was wrong. Months later, it happened again and again. And each time, Kelvin's reasons were the same. No job, not ready, not now. And each time, Lilian made the same painful choice of ending the pregnancy, sacrificing her feelings and her body just to keep the peace between them. By the third time, the emotional and physical toll had become heavy. She would cry silently at night, wondering if he truly understood the pain she was going through for him. But she stayed quiet because she loved him too much. She believed that one day all these sacrifices would prove her loyalty and make their love stronger. Little did she know that she was slowly losing pieces of herself in the process. Lilian's love for Kelvin kept pushing her to do things she never imagined she could. No matter how many sacrifices she made, it never felt like enough. She wanted to see him grow, to see him succeed. She believed that once he had his own business, everything would finally fall into place for them. One evening, Kelvin opened up about his frustration and he said, "Lilian, I'm tired of depending on you for everything," he said. "If I can just get some capital, I know I will make something great. I have the ideas, I just need the support." His words touched her deeply. He sounded determined, and she wanted nothing more than to be the woman who stood by his success story. After thinking about it for days, Lilian made a bold and dangerous decision, one that would later change everything. She secretly withdrew a huge amount of money from her dad's company account. It wasn't a small sum. It was a money meant for major business operations. She convinced herself it was a loan. She would replace it soon, and that Kelvin's success would make it all worth it. When she handed him the money, the smile on Kelvin's face made her feel so proud. "You won't regret this, babe. I will make you proud," he promised, pulling her into a tight hug. But reality struck sooner than she expected. The amount she took created a huge gap in the company's finances. Important deals were delayed, workers' salaries were affected, and the company nearly slipped into a financial crisis. Her dad was furious, trying to figure out where such a large sum had gone. Lilian lived in constant fear of being discovered, praying Kelvin's business would pick up fast so she could fix everything. But deep down, a small voice kept asking if she had made the biggest mistake of her life. My people, this story is taking another level. This is the end of part 2. Stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for part 3 of this amazing story. We love you. Bye for now. See you in part 3.